Seriously, now trust me, all that will make sense in just a little bit. As we begin today's episode, we see Team Rocket hiding under a bridge that Ash and friends are due to cross. Their plan looks elaborate, but is actually relatively simple. They'll wait until Ash and friends reach a certain point on the bridge, pull these ropes to collapse the bridge, and then Ash and friends will fall into this cage. Then Team Rocket just have to slide the roof of the cage on and they'll have them trapped. Simple. Well, there's just one problem. The roof is clearly already on the cage. So if Ash and friends fall from the bridge, they'll land on top of the cage, and therefore will be free to escape. Team Rocket, use your noodles. After Team Rocket accidentally collapsed the bridge too soon, Ash and friends discuss how they're going to cross the river now that the bridge is broken, since the next nearest bridge is apparently 10 miles away. Oh no, if only you had a Pokémon that could fly, even with a human on its back. You know, like a Charizard?
Actually, whilst we know that Charizard can carry Ash, I doubt it could carry Brock and Misty as well.
He could make 3 trips. He's only flying over a 10-foot gap and back again. It'd take him like 2 minutes tops. Suddenly, this bird turns up in what has to be the single most unsafe form of transportation I've ever seen. She's literally sitting on what is effectively a swing being carried by a bunch of Ledyba. Mate, you are asking for an impending death right there. One sneeze and they'll be scraping this girl off the ground with a spatula. Direct quote from Brock. And thank God I changed the voices when I quote characters in this series, because this one's a doozy.
Girl traveling with Ledyba. This natural beauty's short, boyish hair provides the perfect complement to her warm, feminine features.
Mate, the 90s really were a different time, weren't they? Imagine thinking this girl's hairstyle was boyish and not just short hair. Brock says this girl is definitely his type. I mean, how would we even define what Brock's type is?
If she breathes!
After Brock calls her over, the girl tells her Ledyba to decrease their speed by 50%. Mate, how the hell do these Ledyba know percentages? Like, when did you have the time to teach these bug Pokemon math? And how are Ledyba even smart enough to learn math? And okay, let's entertain the idea that they are smart enough to learn math. Why are you still using them for transport like some kind of farm animal? This girl's a menace. Hang on. So this girl, Ariel, agrees to help Ash and friends cross the river. And her plan is to take them across one by one using her Ledyba. So, remind me again why Charizard couldn't have done this? Mate, how the fuck is this thing now a 2-seater? There was no way you could have got 2 people on that before. And it's not like Ariel's got anywhere to store interchangeable seats. Christ, it really feels like this episode was written at the end of a long work day where everybody just really wanted to hurry up and get home. Direct quote from Ash.
Pretty cool, huh, Pikachu?
Mate, you're a 10-year-old kid. How can you sit there and pretend that flying around on a ladybird-powered swing seat is somehow cooler than flying around on the back of a giant fire-breathing lizard? Direct quote from this bloke.
Ariel, good to see you, girl.
Mate, that's not her name. Her name's Ariel. Old people, man, I swear. Doesn't matter what you tell them, they'll always just call you by any old name. Now, I will call you a wonderful person if you tap the like button on this video, share this video on social media, and leave a lovely comment down below. And if you can't think of a lovely comment, just leave something generic, like
Brock, the gym leader who's 2 90s, even for the 90s.
Or just comment the name of the secret Pokemon I've hidden somewhere in the video. And if you're new here, thank you for checking out my channel. Please hit the subscribe button and turn notifications to always on so you never miss an episode of Pokemon WTF Moments or anything on my channel, like the wonderful Siri battles we do every Sunday. And of course, thank you as always for getting us to 1.75 million subscribers. I know it doesn't look like that right now, but if you subscribe today, maybe YouTube will add that extra 0. And of course, don't forget to come and hang out on my wonderful live streams over on Twitch, or you'll miss out on stuff like this. Okay, job level up, that was nice. Oh, he's got... Oh, what the fuck? Excuse me? When Ariel tells Ash and friends they can watch her work in the orchard, we get this direct quote from Ash.
Bet she uses Ledyba.
There we have it, lads. He's cracked it. Someone fetch this lad a Nobel Prize. He's clearly the brains of this operation. I swear, if you're ever in danger, stand behind Ash Ketchum. Nothing gets past him. Ash and friends watch on as Ariel blows her whistle and tells the Ledyba to climb and descend in order to pollinate the apple trees. Honestly though, I think Ariel's the weak link in this system. The Ledyba are bug Pokemon, so they most likely clearly naturally know what they're doing here. Plus, they've already shown that they're smart enough to know about things like percentages and angles and wind speed. So I think Ariel making them wait for each command is really just slowing the process down. She'd be better off telling them just go and pollinate all the apple trees and come back when you're done. At least then she could put her feet up. Brock gives a brief explanation of how pollination works. Trust Brock to be an expert in reproduction, even in plants. Ash sends out his Heracross to help the Ledyba, even though nobody asked for any help. And Heracross immediately flies over to a tree and starts sucking sap from it. Heracross bails on hard work to suck on hard things. Pass it on. Brock can't believe that Ariel can command all 6 of her Ledyba at one time. Right? It's almost like all 6 of them can hear. Ariel explains that the way she gives the Ledyba all of their commands is by playing different notes on this whistle. But if that's the case, why has she just been using the same one note over and over again? Literally, the whistle notes have been the same for all of the following actions. Begin your descent, decrease speed 50% and prepare for immediate landing. Descend, begin climbing at 40 degrees and just climb on its own. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure the control she has over the Ledyba is more to do with the command she's giving rather than the stupid whistle. Ash asks Ariel if he can have a try with the whistle, but Ariel explains that she can't really let anyone else use it since it's been passed down in her family for generations. Yeah, plus it's been in her fucking mouth, mate. Why the hell would you even want to borrow another person's whistle? Christ, the things we did before COVID. After Team Rocket shows up and steals Ariel's whistle, we get this direct quote from Ariel.
You can't take my whistle.
I hate to break it to you, love, but they have done. As Team Rocket recite their motto, the whistle is clearly around Jessie's neck, until the very next shot where it's mysteriously vanished. Well, I guess that whistle's more valuable than anyone realized. Apparently it's magic. When Jessie blows the whistle, the Ledyba just stare at her, all confused. Oh, wow! Almost like it's not the whistle's note that determines the command, but the actual command being given by the trainer. Wow, it's almost like Liam was right all along. Who saw that coming? After Jessie's Lickitung lands supersonic on all 6 Ledyba at the same time, Jessie is a hacker confirmed, Ariel shouts at the Ledyba, asking why they're not listening to her. Mate, is this your first day in the Pokemon world? They've been hit by supersonic. They're confused. How do you own 6 Ledyba and not know what supersonic does? They learn it at level 8.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find Ledyba learns supersonic at level 5.
Not in Gen 2 they don't. After Pikachu sends Team Rocket blasting off with a Thunderbolt, the Ledyba all fly after them. Ariel tries to call them back, shouting,
Ledyba!
You probably should have given them individual nicknames, mate. They probably can't work out which one you're trying to call back. Brock sends out Zubat and says that since Zubat and Ledyba both use supersonic waves, if the waves sync up, they'll be able to track them down. Alright, sure, but 1, what if they don't sync up? And 2, we've been through this before, mate. That's not how supersonic works. It just confuses other Pokemon. Something that's never confusing is using Code ACE for money off G Fuel. No, seriously, it's like such an easy concept. You use Code ACE, you save 10%. Sometimes you'll save 30, but you'll always save a minimum of 10. Also, I have to say a massive thank you because I think this is the first time outside of streams I've been able to say such a big thank you to all of you wonderful people who picked up our shaker, the Gary 2. It's now no longer available because we've sold every last one of them. So thank you so much for showing support to the channel by picking up our G Fuel shaker. Will we get another one in the future? I don't know. Will we get a flavor in the future maybe? Maybe this is the first step? I don't know. I know nothing at the moment. All I know is I'm super happy that you guys have supported the channel and there are so many Gary 2s about in the world. That's banging. But yes, for those who don't know, G Fuel's an energy formula, barely any calories, 0 sugar, and a whole heap of wonderful flavors like raspberry iced tea that I'm drinking today. And it is just tickety-boo. It's bloody wonderful. Oh, it is just absolutely fantastic. What a tasty drink. Go get yourself some raspberry iced tea G Fuel or any of the wonderful flavors of G Fuel or even a starter pack if you're new to it. Just remember, use Code ACE when you do and you'll save 10% off your order. Remember though, G Fuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine and, you know, children don't need to be anywhere near caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. As Ash and friends search for Ariel's missing Ledyba, Ash sends out his Heracross and tells it to lead them to the nearest place that smells like flowers. And Heracross Heracross then proceeds to fly really slowly towards whatever it smelled. Seriously, it flies slower than Ash and friends can comfortably walk. It's as if they're doing a really crappy escort mission in a video game. And then Heracross just starts sucking sap from a tree anyway. Man, it really is like an escort mission, isn't it? You spend ages following the slowest character ever, and then you just get a game over for seemingly no reason. When Meowth tries blowing the whistle, it sounds like a burglar alarm for no reason. No wonder it sends Arbok into a meltdown. It sounds horrible. Direct quote from Meowth after the Ledyba he's tied up pull him and Team Rocket up into the air.
This is better than our balloon.
Is it though? After all, you can sit down in the balloon, and you don't need upper body strength. Those are two really good selling points if you ask me. Ariel is worried that the Ledyba won't listen to her without her whistle. Okay, I reckon you've got two options here. One, train your Ledyba better so you don't have to rely on the whistle, you know, like every other Pokemon trainer. Or two, and this one's admittedly a bit crazy, buy a new bloody whistle. They're probably only about £3, tenner at most. We then get a montage of Ariel's time with her Ledyba. And I know this is meant to be all wholesome and sweet, but I can't help but notice she sleeps in a tree with the Ledyba all huddled around her to keep her warm. Mate, why doesn't she have a house? You're telling me generations and generations of her family have passed down this lame Ledyba whistle to her and didn't even leave behind a home? What a bunch of cheap bastards. Apparently, Ariel can smell a very faint scent that the Ledyba give off when they're in danger. I mean, admittedly, that's a really cool defense mechanism, but why didn't the Ledyba give that scent off way earlier? You know, when Team Rocket were first trying to steal them. Probably would have made them easier to find. The gang find a trail of the orange powder the Ledyba sprayed all over Team Rocket. But how come there isn't a giant snake trail running through it? Arbok was literally right behind them, so surely it would have left a track if there was that much powder. Speaking of Arbok, look at it go with the big brain strats. Wrapping itself around a tree so the Ledyba can't drag it anywhere. Mate, all this time we've been ragging on Arbok for being so crap in battle, and it turns out it's just more about brains than brawn. Direct quote from James after Victory Bell tries to eat him.
Stand away, move into the snake hole for stand away.
Just in case you didn't quite understand that, here's the original audio played in reverse.
Leo Burnett and 4 kids of the devil, Leo Burnett.
Now that's something we call backmasking. So long story short, this was Eric Stewart's way of taking a sly dig at 4Kids for changing the way that voiceovers for commercials were handled in a way that negatively impacted his finances and also affected his healthcare plan. And just fair play to Eric, because you know we'd have all done the exact same thing in his situation. Honestly, it's just so passive aggressive and I love it. We stan a passive aggressive king. Also, for those interested, I'll put a link down in the description to the original video that shows the backmasking, like it shows it forwards and backwards. That'll be down there somewhere. Jesse tells Lickitung to use Stomp and James tells Victory Bell to use Tackle, even though Victory Bell can't learn Tackle. James is a hacker. Confirmed. Mate, you've got to feel bad for Ariel. The poor girl takes an entire Victory Bell to the face. Like, I know she's a bit of an idiot, but nobody deserves that. Perfectly vertical Arbok is a cursed image. Seriously, it looks creepy as hell like this. I never ever want to see this thing on my screen ever again. I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks after this. Ash sends out Bulbasaur and tells it to use Razor Leaf to break open the net. And I feel a bit like a broken record at this point, but couldn't Ash have just done that ages ago? Like at any point? Ash Ketchum waiting until after a girl gets hit in the face by a Victory Bell before revealing the escape tactic he had ready the whole time? That's not very protagonistic. Now, I'm not outright accusing Ariel of favoritism when it comes to her Ledyba, but some of these Pokemon aren't getting any of this hug. Like, they're not even close to being part of it. No wonder that one on the left's crying. Ariel says that each day she's going to try and use the whistle less and less, and Ash says he has a feeling they'll all be a lot happier that way. But why though? Ariel using the whistle has never been a problem before for her or her Ledyba. And the only reason there was trouble today was because Team Rocket tried to steal the whistle and the Ledyba. So why is Ash talking like the whistle's a problem? The whistle wasn't making Ariel or her Ledyba unhappy in any way. Ash is talking out of his arse here. Typical Ash Ketchum, I guess. Direct quote from the narrator.
Today, our friends were reminded there are many ways for humans and Pokemon to communicate, and the most important way is with their hearts.
What are you talking about, mate? We literally just established that clear instructions from the trainer are the best way to train Pokemon. So give over with this with their hearts bollocks. The best way to communicate is clearly communication. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 3, Episode 12, The Whistle Stop. Let me know your favorites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams. I'd love to see you there, and use code ACE for money off G Fuel. Thank you for selling out the Gary too, but until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.